Good evening, traders. This is a follow up on the 29th of March, Monday's trading session. I spoke to you guys early this morning. I'm trying to provide you with some analysis in the morning to get you better set for what to expect in your daily session. Um, Basically, it thing just held up. In fact, it's kind of funny. When I was setting up this video in the morning, my expectations based on this 15 was it for at the time it was right in his pocket. We were sitting near the lows. I thought we were going to make a run for S1 and the moving average, the daily moving average down there at about 39.25. I mean, those are ideal locations. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You anticipate them. If they come in and play, great. You act upon those locations. Otherwise, you take it. You have to deal with the trade accordingly. And in fact, if I'm not mistaken, a little after I finished the video, there was a double bottom down there at about 32, and this thing kind of just took off from there and reestablished itself and made higher highs. And I think this area right here was key all morning was this 39.40 area. It was the early morning support, and then it was the resistance, and then when we got above it again, we pretty much took off for the day. And you can already see from today's trading for tomorrow's pivots, 55 is your daily pivot. Worked out well today, really well. In fact, I established this little rectangular box here to show you how well this area played out um, today after they took off. They held it. It's a good number. You're going to want to see how this plays out. I don't know what's going to happen overnight, so until then, we can only speculate. If you get any type of sell off, it's going to be that 41 area, and the intriguing part is that is actually S1. So, I mean, you can almost see, you know, the significance of the daily pivots, but you can almost anticipate them coming into play from your previous day session, and that's how and why I try to have you understand and put a little extra homework into these locations because they come into play often and they're going to put you in wonderful positions to execute with consistency and make money from these areas. And that is the absolute single most important part of what I try to share with my traders and people who follow my method of trading. So once again, this is just a brief on today's is a little secondary approach. Once again, we kind of held structure all afternoon, and 55 was a solid number. Once again, your pivot is always a key location, especially in a bull trend acceleration, and that's why you know I like to find the most. I like to find the best locations to get long, and sometimes I just don't get those spots, and you have to use your discretion, see how it's being played out in certain areas, and whether or not the commercials are supporting it there. And they did. They held that area. This, it looks like the commercials really enjoyed the 41 area all the way. And in fact, you can see how 34 was a really big number too. You can see I have these areas covered. Here you can see the resistance earlier in the week, support and support. And these numbers are going to keep coming into play, on any hard sell-offs. And that's why you have to put the time into it. It's going to help you better understand. In fact, I don't even know where S2 is. It is way down there. It's at 39.16, so there's no need to really go there until we see how this plays out tomorrow. We're in a bull trend acceleration. We're looking to take out new contract highs. I'm assuming all this work that they put on it late on Friday and later on in the day today is they're looking for higher highs. I'm hearing all kinds of crazy forecasts. Where do you think the S&Ps are going? It doesn't really make a difference to me. I trade what's there, and I react to the market as it's showing me what it's doing at these areas. So once again, this is MR Strategies. And if there's anything that you guys want to share or you want further input into what and or how I come about this, or if you want any type of extra work in terms of providing a strategy or plan for your daily trading, then please reach out to me at mlbino at AOL.com. You know, I can easily go with this live to show traders in real time what's going on. I know it looks too easy when I sit here and give you after the facts. That's why I'm trying to push this more towards closer and closer to real time analysis. But I'm just trying to get a feel for the market per se, who's out there, what people are looking for, and whether or not this is exactly or not at all what they're looking for as far as traders. So I'm available to you. Tomorrow, once again, I'll be playing closer attention to the pivot. Always, it's a key number, especially in a bull trend acceleration, as is any hard sell-offs and support. So R1 is pretty much above the contract high. So I gotta believe we're going to push that. I in fact think we're gonna go to 4,000. This market is just amazingly strong, and it keeps proving itself. I mean, we got this hard sell off the other day that took us down, and they usually do it early in the week, and that's so typical of how this market has been. They usually do most of their breakdowns early in the week. They rebound, they consolidate, and then they rebuild themselves, and then they run it up into the latter part of the week, and that's what they did last week. And they made that low at about 38.43, was down here, and just like that, they ran them 100 plus points. And that is the strength of this market. And they take advantage of these hard sell-offs because of value. And that's what I preach to you guys is whenever the market gets oversold, they're coming in and they're looking for the value. And in the same way on the upside, when it gets a little overdone and it's overvalued, doesn't mean it's not going back there. It just means temporarily overvalued. It's going to come down to a median price level where they're going to reestablish themselves. And the big traders and the big money is not going to chase the market. They're going to play it from their locations. And they're going to take advantage of the retails who don't see that and who keep just jumping on it because they're just following the trend. And then the commercials come in and they slap it, and they push it to levels where they want to get involved in. So, as was the case at 39.30, you can see it happen overnight yesterday, and it held well today. And I probably should pay more attention to it, but at the time I was on a video and I was looking for S1, but that's how I'm looking for the best possible location. And probably the one best thing I could share with all traders is don't ever chase price. Have a game plan, have an area, be ready to execute. If you miss it, don't chase it. That's the best advice I can give to any and all traders, okay? Another opportunity will take place maybe minutes after that or later in the session. But at the end of the day, be patient with your entries and trade what you want to trade. Execute what works for you. All I'm trying to share with my analysis is locations are significant. The moving averages tell a lot. And the individual pivots, the daily pivots, SR, are going to tell you a lot as well. It's going to show you how price reacts at the extremes. These are extremes. R1 would be an extreme. We open up around R1 tomorrow. We're going to want to see if it can hold. And will it come down and fill the gap? There's a lot of enthusiasm in this market right now. Sometimes they run away from those gaps and they take a few days before they get them back, as was the case last week. So you want to pay attention to that. End of the day, we're still in a bull trend. It's accelerating. Your opportunities are to the upside, but you want to be smart about them. You don't want to chase it because that's what they want you to do, and they take advantage of that. Be smart as a trader. Be patient. All right, and I promise you, your executions will be more successful, more consistent, and you will be a much happier trader. So, this is the conclusion of 329. I will try to check in maybe early tomorrow to give you more if I can. It's really hard to tell right now because I don't know what they're going to do overnight. It really doesn't make a difference. I mean, if they decide to run them over overnight, they're just going to take advantage of the value and they're going to buy them back up, and vice versa. If they push them too hard to the upside, which kind of falls in line with their agenda because they're pushing it higher, they're going to take profits from those higher highs and they're going to push it down to where they want to re-enter. So the big money is going to allow the retail to move it around to their liking because they're net long and they're going to rebuild their positions from the value locations, whether it be the pivot, S1, S2. And bear in mind that both the MAs on a daily are sitting around 39.20, that area right now. In fact, the 18 and 9 are about to cross over the upside, which is telling me that we probably have another leg hard going to the upside. I like to show you the daily. I'll show it to you tomorrow so you can see that. But it looks like this thing wants to keep revving. This has been one of the most brutal bull markets I've seen in a long time. But I think what I am sharing with so many traders are the endless possibilities against the trend that you can make unbelievable money. And those are best taken at the extremes. And that's how you can take advantage, even in a bull market, to get retracements from the higher highs. Ideally, we want to be long. I want to be long. That's the game plan. But just because the market's opening 20 handles higher, it doesn't mean I'm jumping on board with that. And in fact, I just say I'm just let it go until I find the best opportunity, whether it's a counter trend short against that strong trend or will it be a pullback to a location that is going to give me a better entrance to the upside. So, that's my best analogy of all this. And once again, if you like what you see, reach out to me. I'd be glad to share more. So, once again, this is 329 MR Strategies. I'm Michael, and reach out whenever you desire. I hope you like what you see, and I hope you guys are making money. That's what it's all about. It's about to be consistent and to take the higher probability trades while reducing your risk. Don't trade just to trade. You want to be smart about it. Location is all the same in trading as it is in real estate. So I wish you guys a good night. And you know what? I'll talk to you guys in the morning. Have a great evening.